everybody, welcome back to my channel, 23 Flavors of Stitching. My name is Kirsten, and today's video is going to be an update, or I guess a closing video about my March Madness bracket from this last month. And if you guys are new, this is March Stitchy Madness that the Steel City Stitchers started. I think they started it. Anyway, I am going to go through my bracket by round and talk about what won, which projects were which. If you are new to March Madness or didn't hear about it, basically you pick, how I did it was I picked 8 projects. I had 4 works in progress and I had 4 new starts, and each work in progress went up against a new start. And then once I was done stitching on those 2 projects, so for example on March 1st I would stitch on a work in progress, and then on March 2nd I stitched a new start, and then either at the very end of the day on the 2nd or on the 3rd I would post a poll on my Instagram, and then my followers would vote on which project that they wanted to move on to the next round. So you will see a couple of finishes as I go through the rounds, just because I have finished 3 of my projects. And I guess let's just get started. So my first project, I have already filmed this once. I didn't like how it turned out, so we're doing it again. So all my projects are everywhere. So my first project was Lovers, and I will have the Etsy shop that I bought this from down in the description box below. But that's what it looks like. Now that's where I'm at. I have worked on it since the bracket. So like I said, you'll see some things that aren't completely where they were at the end of my bracket, since I have finished some things and needed to work on other things for the month. So that was Lovers, and it's being stitched on 18 count vintage country Mocha. And next, what it went up against was a new start, and it's Dog Lessons for People by Lizzie Kate. That's what it'll look like when it's finished. And this is also being stitched on 18 count vintage country Mocha, and that's where it's at. So it was these 2 against each other, and Lovers ended up winning that round. So next up was on March 3rd was another work in progress. And that was Oh Holy Night, which is actually a finish. So here is Oh Holy Night. I just want to make sure you can see it. So there's Oh Holy Night, and this was stitched on 18 count light antique blue. And I ordered it from 123 Stitch. And this one went up against a new start, which was Liberty's Lights by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And that one was also a finish. And out of these 2, Liberty's Lights won. So then my next round, so starting on March 5th, it was a work in progress, which was Pumpkins by CrossWithMe on Etsy. That's what it looks like. And this was my piece that I worked on while I was traveling to Virginia to meet my niece. So that's where it's at now. While I was at the airport, I was still working on this orange pumpkin. So there was my work in progress, and that went up against a new start, which was Summer Nights by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And Summer Nights is being stitched on 16 count Oatmeal, I think. And Pumpkins is being stitched on 18 count. 18 count White. And out of those two, Summer Nights won. So, then my last work in progress for March 7th was Maybe Swearing Will Help by IvieStitches, and this I got in a kit for my birthday in 2019, but never started it until this year. I was working on so many other things. So there's Maybe Swearing Will Help, and that went up against a new start from Etsy that it's a Moira Rose quote from Schitt's Creek, and the quote is, "I would be pleased to RSVP as pending." I didn't like the font, so I tried changing it, but then I didn't like the font that I picked either, so this is being stitched on 16 count White. And out of these two, Maybe Swearing Will Help one. So, for my next round, for the final four, it was Lovers against Liberty's Lights, and Liberty's Lights ended up winning, but that's what the next round was. And then the last round in the final four was Summer Nights versus Maybe Swearing Will Help, and Maybe Swearing won. And then, so March 13th, I ended up working on Liberty's Lights on my way home, and I almost finished it on my flights home. And then March 14th, I finished this one. And so then I worked on Liberty's Lights a little bit more, and then Liberty's Lights won by default since I finished this. So then, with coming back to school from spring break, I didn't have a ton of stitching time, so I did not work on a project again until the following Sunday, so I think that was March 21st, and that's when I finished Liberty's Lights. And then I was so close to a finish on Oh Holy Night that I decided to just get that over with. I didn't want to go back through the bracket of like who would have won and stuff like that, so I just picked Oh Holy Night because I was so close, and I ended up finishing that. And then ever since then, I have worked on Lovers, I have worked on the Pumpkins pattern, and I've worked on Dog Lessons a little bit. So the only projects from my bracket that I haven't worked on since my bracket officially ended is Summer Nights and the RSVP one. And it's been a lot of fun to have some pieces that, even though they got eliminated early on, they are still technically my focus pieces for the rest of the month, because I don't want to stitch on anything else until March is done, because it's March Madness for a reason, and you want to try and get as many things stitched on and as many things finished as you can. And so that was my deal for March, was I wasn't going to stitch on anything except for these 8 projects that I picked. And the last couple nights, my eyes have hurt a little bit, so I got LASIK in December, which I think I told you guys about. And because of that, I do not have blue light glasses anymore, because my prescription glasses had a blue light filter on them. So now when I'm done with school for the day, or whatever I've been doing on my iPad or anything, my eyes kind of hurt. And so lately I've only been wanting to stitch on something that has a paper pattern. So I only have 2 projects from March Madness that are on paper, and that is pumpkins and dog lessons. So I have actually been working on pumpkins quite a bit. Actually, just the last couple days, that's the only project that I've worked on. So I was actually able to get quite a bit done. I was able to stitch the handle on the wagon and start this white pumpkin, and I think I even filled in the orange, like the light orange, and started over here. So it's been going really well so far. But I think that is it for this video. I went through that really quick based off of the first time that I filmed it. But I really just want to say thank you to everyone who voted on my bracket. If you are watching this and you voted on my bracket on Instagram, thank you so much. Thank you for participating. Thank you for voting on my bracket, because it was really fun to not really have a say. I mean, I picked the projects, so I wanted to stitch on all of them, but it was really fun to not have a say in what got picked, and I was really just left to the mercy of the followers and the votes, and that was really fun. It kind of makes me want to do a bracket every month or for an entire year, just because that was really fun to not really have a say in it. And it was also really fun as a viewer to vote on other people's projects. So I know that Evelyn from Evelyn Across the Pond, it's been really fun to see her progress on her final project, and I think she actually, I am so sorry, I think she actually finished it today. I think she put her last stitches in, and it looks so good. And it just has been really fun to see everyone's progress on all of their projects, and if they ended up finishing the one that won the bracket, to see them go back and work on other things, or if one project that they picked they ended up finishing before the poll, just to see how everyone's polls and brackets turned out was so much fun. And so next year I'm definitely going to do it again, and if you missed out on it this year, I highly recommend that you follow your favorite Flosstubers on Instagram and vote on their projects, or even make your own bracket. And you could have your husband or your kids vote, or I had my brother and sister-in-law vote on one. I had my in-laws, like my husband's family, I had them vote on one, and it's really fun to see what people choose. So the last time, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who voted and participated. I really appreciate it. And if you are watching and you have not subscribed, I don't usually say this at the end of my videos, but if you liked this video and you want to see more from me and you want to see these projects as they progress, please subscribe and follow along. You can even follow my Instagram, which is the same name as my channel. Well, my channel is technically my real name, but my Instagram is at 23 Flavors of Stitching, and it'll be linked in the description box below for you to go check it out. And that way, if there's ever another poll that I ask you guys to participate in, you can vote on it and you can have a say in those kinds of things. So like the video, subscribe if you want. Can't really force you to do it. And I will be back probably in just a couple of days to do my regular video, my regular update, and I'll talk about some stitch alongs that I've started. I'll talk about some purchases for some plans that I want to do in April, and I guess just talk about my plans. And then it'll probably just be regular programming from there, so so no real extra videos, probably just my updates. And if I can get as much stitching done as I have been this last month, then I think I will go back to 2 or bi-weekly updates instead of once a month. We'll kind of have to see how it goes. One thing I do want to know is where or what time. No. One thing that I do want to know is what day of the week that you guys like to watch, and if you guys like save your videos into a playlist and watch them, or if you just watch them as they come up on your feed. Just let me know. That way I can post videos on days that you guys like to watch. Because I feel like sometimes when you go through your feed and things pop up, things that have like just been posted that day, then those are the ones you watch, stuff like that. So let me know in the comments what day of the week you like to watch your videos, and if you save them to a playlist or if you just watch them as they pop up. I hope that you all have a good evening or a good day whenever you're watching this, and I hope that you all get lots of stitchy time. It is my last stretch before finals. This is the last month of the semester, and so I hope I get lots of stitchy time because I probably won't be getting a ton of it. But I will see you guys in just a couple of days when we go over my plans for April. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.